The year is 30 BC. Alexandria, the pearl of the Mediterranean, holds its breath. A suffocating stillness has fallen over the once vibrant capital of the Ptolemaic kingdom. The air, thick with the scent of salt and fear, hangs heavy in the labyrinthine streets. This is not the Alexandria of scholars and merchants, of laughter and learning. This is a city occupied, a gilded cage waiting for its queen to sing her final song. The conquering eagle of Rome has landed. Octavian's legions patrol the colonnades, their hobnailed sandals echoing on marble pavements where philosophers once debated. They are a force of calm, discipline, order, their polished armor reflecting the dying light of an Egyptian dynasty. Their presence is an unspoken threat, a constant reminder of the new reality. Power has shifted, and the world has tilted on its axis. Within the cold embrace of her palace walls, a woman waits. She is not the siren of Roman propaganda, not the seductress of legend. She is a queen, a scholar, a mother, and a strategist who has played the great game of power and lost. Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt, is a prisoner in her own home. Her world has shrunk to these chambers, lit by the flickering dance of oil lamps. Shadows stretch and writhe like phantoms on the stone walls, which have witnessed the rise and fall of her ancestors for 3 centuries. The silence here is a living thing, broken only by the distant, rhythmic tramp of Roman guards and the sigh of the wind carrying whispers from the harbor. Each echo is a footstep of fate, marching ever closer. In these final, desperate hours, what thoughts occupy the mind of the queen? Does she recall her glorious arrival in Rome, a spectacle of wealth and power that dazzled the Republic? Or her fateful alliance with Mark Antony, a love born of political necessity that blossomed into a legendary partnership? They had dreamed of a new Eastern Empire, a dynasty to rival Rome itself, with their children as its heirs. Now, that dream lies shattered, buried with Antony in a hastily prepared tomb. Octavian, the victor, is a man of ice and ambition. He does not see a queen, but a symbol. To him, Cleopatra represents the decadent, alluring East, a threat to Roman virtue and stability that must be neutralized. He wants her for his triumph, the ultimate parade of conquest through the streets of Rome. He envisions her walking in chains, a living trophy to display his absolute power, the final, humiliating chapter in her story. But Cleopatra is a descendant of Ptolemy, one of Alexander the Great's most formidable generals. Submission is not in her blood. She moves through the lonely rooms, a regal figure swallowed by shadow. The rich tapestries and golden artifacts that surround her seem to mock her confinement. They are relics of a world that no longer exists. Her every move is watched. The guards at her door are not there to protect her, but to contain her. They are silent sentinels of her doom, their impassive faces betraying no emotion, no pity. The psychological pressure is immense. Every meal could be her last. Every visitor a potential assassin, or a messenger bearing terms of surrender she cannot accept. The air is thick with intrigue. Loyal servants move through the palace, their eyes darting. Their conversations hushed. Are they plotting her escape, or are they spies, reporting her every word back to their new Roman masters? Trust is a luxury she can no longer afford. Cleopatra's legacy hangs in the balance. Will she be remembered as the exotic courtesan of Roman fantasies, or as the capable ruler who spoke 9 languages, commanded fleets, and held a vast kingdom together against impossible odds? In these last moments, her choices are few, but they are potent. She understands that history is written by the victors, but the final act of her life is still hers to write. She prepares herself, not for surrender, but for an apotheosis. The rituals are ancient, steeped in the traditions of her Egyptian subjects, who saw her not just as a Greek queen, but as the living incarnation of the goddess Isis. It is a carefully orchestrated performance, a final, defiant act of political theater. She adorns herself in the royal regalia, the garments of a goddess, the gold jewelry, the intricate symbols. They are not mere decorations, they are armor for the soul. The method of her end is debated by historians to this day. The legend speaks of an asp, the sacred serpent of Egyptian royalty, smuggled to her in a basket of figs. The bite of the cobra was believed to grant immortality, a divine passage to the afterlife, bypassing the humiliation of earthly judgment. It was a death fit for a pharaoh, not a Roman captive. Whether by snake or by poison, the choice was hers. It was an act of ultimate control in a situation where she had none. The discovery is quiet, almost anticlimactic. Roman soldiers, sent to secure the queen, forced their way into the sealed chamber. There is no struggle, no dramatic confrontation. They find her on her ceremonial couch, looking not like a defeated enemy, but like a ruler at peace, asleep. Her handmaidens lie beside her, loyal to the very end. The air is still. The flickering lamps cast a serene glow upon a scene of tragic, silent defiance. Octavian is furious. He has been denied his prize. He wanted to parade a broken queen, but Cleopatra has escaped him, transforming herself into a martyr and a legend. He may have conquered her kingdom, but he could not conquer her will. Her death ensures that she will never be a footnote in his story, but the eternal protagonist of her own. In the aftermath, Rome would systematically erase her from official records, destroying her statues and demonizing her memory. They would tell a story of a dangerous seductress who nearly brought the republic to its knees. But stories have a life of their own. The tale of the last queen of the Nile refused to die. It survived in whispers, in poems, and the chronicles of those who saw her not as a villain, but as a formidable leader who dared to challenge the greatest power the world had ever known. Alexandria would continue as a Roman city, but its soul had been altered forever. The end of Cleopatra marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the final death of the Hellenistic age, the world created by Alexander's conquests. It was the end of an era, and the dawn of a new one, the Roman Empire. The story of Cleopatra's final days is not a romance. It is a tragedy. It is a stark and brutal lesson in power, politics, and the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of absolute despair. In the deep, silent chambers of her tomb, surrounded by the shadows of history, the Queen of Egypt secured her immortality, not through victory, but through a final, masterful act of defiance. Her name would echo through eternity, long after the empire that conquered her had crumbled to dust.